Okay, here's my latest project of sorts. We're looking at my FX Verminator in 22 caliber. My project was basically trying to make this the best indoor building pester as far as safety and effectiveness and not putting holes in the building. I like 22 caliber because the pellets are lighter, and I've noticed with 25 it's hard to get the extra heavy pellets to slow down enough to not put big dents or holes in the tin. But this Verminator is bottle fed, so most of the weight is back here, and I forget how big this tank is, but one time I did shooting on power level 2, and that's another thing that's with the Verminator. It's got 3-position power wheel, 1, 2, and 3, of course, and I got over 150 shots out of it on power level 2. And let me check my notes, I got them handy. On power level 2, we're going at 605 feet per second with the Hades, and that's 12.91 foot-pounds energy, which is a good balance of energy and feet per second to not penetrate the roofs. And on power level 3, I get 775, which is 21.19 foot-pounds energy. With this Verminator, on power level 1, you'll get somewhere between 7 and 8.5 foot-pounds. Power level 2, you'll get from 10 to 14 foot-pounds, and on power level 3, about 20 to 23 foot-pounds energy. Dealing with a lot of noise here this evening or afternoon, but anyway, I got the Accutac bipod on here right now, just basically because I was shooting some groups. Normally I use a lighter bipod, a Magpul bipod, which is less than half the weight. But what I like about the Verminator is most of the weight is in the back, so it balances and points real well. And one of the main drawbacks is these dang little magazines, and they had 2 versions, 11-shot one here and a 12-shot one, and it appears they're only selling 11-shot ones now, but they're phasing them out. So that was a drawback in the situation, and not having many shots. You got something supposed to be shooting, you know, pests, and if you're in a high volume situation, it you know, it's no fun paying for these magazines, which are 60 bucks a piece, and having to change them all the time. So I recently, about 2-3 months ago, got a 3D printer, and I printed some of my own magazines. I started off with printing an 18-shot magazine, and the thing that's tough with the 3D printer, unless you have it calibrated precisely, it's sort of a guessing game on printing various size things. You might have to print them more than once, but I use these threaded inserts to do connections. Basically, you take a soldering iron and you hold it in the hole, and they actually make little tips that fit in the different size holes, and you just sort of melt it into the plastic. But for this magazine, which is a 18-shot one, I used two of these threaded inserts. Back one just holds that in place, and I use a mainspring from a badge carrier. You can use mainsprings from toys and stuff, but underneath here I got this little plate here that holds the mainspring down so it doesn't come out loose, and that's an 18 shot magazine, which is pretty good. But of course I was wanting more capacity, and I guess I'll show this now. This is the 22 shot one, and this is held in with a little keyhole for the lid, so I just lift it up and there's a beautiful 22 shot capacity. Got a little notch to line the lid. These wings are used to line it when I insert it into the gun and keep it from tipping. But so to accommodate that though, what I did was bought this MTC Optics Atom, which is a prismatic scope. It's basically zero eye relief. This is the 10x1, and it is 4.84 inches long and about 10.5 ounces. So of course they give you 2 or 3 different mounting systems, and it's got to come way back, so I end up using this bigger mounting system. But it's got a wide field of view. It's very clear, but I do have trouble. And the one thing I really don't like holding my eye up here. A lot of times it's hard to get the wide field of view, but it allows me to use the taller magazine. But let me show you how I got this magazine inserted and all that. I'm gonna open the bolt. I have a retainer pin up here, and printed this block to go onto the front rail. You can see the wings hold it there so it doesn't, you know, it lines better and all that, and this holds it in place. So it's, you know, because of the extra weight here, it helps to have those wings and that set screw. But to me, that's a beautiful sight, having that many pellets in there. And they're like 95 to 99% reliable. I need to have a little bit more clearance on the outside here, so I might update it. But I printed 3 of these magazines, and also did a speed loader, and I rotate this in to get the first pellet out. And there's my speed loader. What was I going to say about that? I got that hole in the middle that takes care of the center notch. So when you take this cover off and you line it up, everything drops in good. And on the inside here, I got a little indentation with a radius to it. And on the lid, I got a couple little bump out nubs, and it basically just snaps there. So that takes care of speed loading. So that's just sort of my latest project, and I really like the way it performs. It's light and easy to carry and high volume shooting. And the other thing that sort of makes this a little bit better than my Dream Pup is the other thing that makes it a little bit better than the Dream Pup, which is short too, is having a side lever that's forward. With the Dream Pup, it's way in the back, and I'm left-handed shooter, And sometimes you got to come off the gun to cock it. This doesn't have the power of the Dream Pup. It's only like 11.5-inch barrel, but it's very quiet. Okay, I got this on power level 2 and a target set up at 30 yards. I'm just going to do a 5-shot group. And the moderator on it is just a straight FX tube. Okay, I just have the FX straight tube moderator with nothing in it. Works real good on power level 2 and 1. If I need more, if I go up to power level 3, I'll use this Hug It. Not that it's loud, but it makes it, as they say, mouse fart quiet. But let's do some shots downrange. Just noise. So pretty quiet there. For fun, let's just put on the Hug It. So there you go. I'm hoping this will, well actually I've taken it out a few times. Shot some starlings and sparrows and stuff. And like I say, it's a real nice portable gun. Forward cock and lever, high shot count. Pretty high magazine capacity now. So good indoor pester.